I hope everyone is well. This video is being uploaded on a Friday while I am at the beach. So this is future me or past me talking to you in the future, right? Yeah, I think that tracks. This week's video, I'm going to do another little collage. It won't be nearly as long because these videos got to be quicker. So I'm going to condense everything that I'm doing, but it's actually for a really good cause. My friend who lives down the street, she is part of Foster Tiny Paws in North Carolina, and she does really amazing things and works with this really, really wonderful company called Sparkle Cat Rescue. They help with rescues, with trap, neuter, release, TNR. They will trap a wild cat or a feral cat, get them to the spay and neuter clinic, have them spayed, have them neutered, and then release them, clip their ear, and release them back in the wild, or back out in the community. And sometimes they can rescue cats for mousing purposes. So it just sort of depends. But anyway, they are doing some kind of auction, I guess. And so all the proceeds go towards Sparkle Cat Rescue, because everything that they do is kind of the money that they raise goes towards these animals. Like there's no back, office support or anything like that. So she asked me to make or to produce a piece of art that I wouldn't mind auctioning. So I thought it'd be really fun to actually do that together. Since I have a creative channel, let's do this. So yeah, that's what my project is today. So I am taking kind of a little key from this piece that I did with the moon. I don't know, you can't really see it and I can't get it off the wall currently. But it's in the moon and in the night, and there's a little kid hanging from it. But instead of a little kid, I'm actually going to have a little cat hanging from it. I thought that would be really cute, because I will be perfectly honest, my cats look really weird. So like they just don't come out very well. So anyway, I wanted to create something a little bit different. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I've got some papers and stuff and my glue, and I've got scissors. All right, well, didn't you love that little effect right in there, that nice transition where I just stopped talking and here we are. Oh, it's because I did the intro way too many times and I'm just sort of over it. I'm like, oh, good grief. Like, it's not doing its thing, and that's fine. So we're moving on. The blue papers for the background. I really love collage, and I don't know, I feel like I need to show y'all how I make papers for collage. And you can certainly, YouTube it, or you can Google it. You can what's that Pinterest? You can Pinterest it and find out how other people make papers. There's a million ways on how to make your own papers for collage. I prefer to make my own versus using stuff that's already printed, like scrapbook paper, which is lovely and wonderful in its own right. But when you use those, you cannot sell your piece, or without, like if you were going to write a book or something and you had somebody else's pieces, somebody else's designs in your book, you would have to get permission. So I don't know. And plus I have a thing with using other people's stuff. Like I can use something for inspiration, and their art can inspire me to create something of my own. But as long as it's something different, wildly different, or, very different in some way. This is where I forgot to trim the paper because I have an 8x10 opening and my paper's 9x12. So anyway, I like to just use my own. And Vanessa Brantley Newton, excuse me, I have misspoke. She is amazing. One of my absolute favorite friends on earth. She's just lovely. Okay, so we're not super close, but I took classes with her and we know each other. She knows of me, I know of her. She lives in Charlotte, actually, North Carolina, but she is a brilliant and amazing artist and writer. She writes children's books. So if you don't know her, go to your library, get a few of her books, and you can see her work. It's just amazing. She actually got some of her pieces in the Eric Carle Museum, which I thought was amazing, like such a huge deal. And I think she's got a new show coming out on PBS. I forget what it's called, something Fun with V maybe, or Art with V, I don't know. I'll have to look into that and get back to you. But anyway, collage, it's fabulous. And you know, it's a great way to recycle and upcycle things. I mean, that piece that I'm using right now is a brown paper bag that I painted with looks like probably acrylics. So it just depends on what you like some of those I use watercolor, some I use watered down acrylics, some I use paint sticks, so it just depends. And it was really cold that day in my studio. I was cold. I had like leggings on and a sweatshirt. It's weird. We've had massive issues with our AC, and then one day it was cold and rainy outside and just kind of yucky. And so that's what I'm wearing. It's a sweatshirt. Because good times. Oh my goodness. All right. So for this piece, I'm doing a blue background because it's supposed to be nighttime. And now I'm cutting some little flower stems. And I was trying really hard to make different shaped flower stems, so that way they were, you know, weaving in and out in different ways. But I don't know, I kind of get stuck in one way of cutting my flower or my stems, and then that's just what I have. So they all kind of go the same. I don't know. I see them very similarly. I don't know. Maybe you don't, but I see them all the same, sort of. I don't know. Maybe the one on the end is a little bit different. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Good grief, let's not be OCD about it. It's paper. So I'm really happy with the way this turned out, actually. Like, you will see, it's lovely and fun, and it's just, you know, it's really cute. So I hope that you guys will give this a try. It's just paper. And if you don't like it, you can recycle it or do it again if you don't like it. My friend Vanessa says that all the time. If you don't like it, it's just paper. Do it again. Which is easier said than done if you've spent hours and hours and hours making something and it doesn't come out. And then you're like, oh, what am I going to do with this hot mess? You know, then you have to do it again. And it's like, well, that's not good because nobody wants that. But it's still, the point is that it's paper. It's not stone. So, you know, get your hair out. All right, more leaves in different colors. It's important. So I was trying to do some grasses and just kind of different little plants at the bottom. And actually the plants are nothing like the other piece that I did. I should post a picture of that just for giggles, but I'm not technical enough to figure out how to post a picture on my videos going the same way, because my videos are landscape and my pictures are always the other way, or even if they're landscape, they don't fit the video landscape, so I'm just not doing that. So I hope that's fine. But the original one I made with Vanessa Newton, actually. We did a collage class and it was so much fun, that one. So that one's actually one of my favorites. I love it. With the little girl hanging, my daughter, hanging from the little moon. I realized in this one actually that I didn't make the moon the same way, but that's fine because it's, you know, even though that's my piece, I'm inspired to make it a little bit different, and so therefore I did, because the moon is very different. And that's just fine. The kitty though, like the kitty gets me because the kitty's so cute. I'm just gluing. The glue that I'm using is Pritt. I think it comes from England. I ordered it online. Another paper artist recommended it, and it's excellent. Like, it's a really good glue. I mean, you can use whatever you have. I do recommend using glue sticks, not wet glue, because it dries faster. And it's just easier to work with so that way you don't have gooey, wet glue all over your paper. And sometimes that does ripple. No matter what the package says, it's never ripple free, I have found. Like it doesn't matter if it's made for paper or not. Like it's always gonna have some kind of little off. It's gonna look a little off. So for my moon, I wanted it to be kind of thicker and three-dimensional and get my hair out of the way. And so I used cardboard, and actually this cardboard is a lot thicker and heavier duty than like corrugated. It's a tighter, I guess. I don't know how to explain that very well, but it was just some packaging that I had laying around, and I knew that I was going to use that for something. So I stashed it in my box of stuff. Don't mind me while I sift through all of the yellow papers I have in the world, all of them. So I'm just using a glue stick on this, and then I'm cutting around kind of the paper and creating little tabs so that way I can mash it around it. So that way all the edges are covered too. That part gets a little bit harder. Just because like I don't like glue everywhere. I know people who will work on top of, and there we go, scratch paper or trash. It came out of my trash can. I know people who will work on top of the piece they're creating and use the glue, and that drives me nuts because I'm like, no, then you've got glue everywhere. Then what? What do you do with all that glue? I just know. I don't know. It's my OCD thing, I guess. So there's my moon. And we've adjusted the view just ever so slightly. And now we're going to draw and cut out a cat. So I'm measuring that against the moon. So the little legs. Get your hair out of the way. And a tail. I decided to do the tail completely separate. If you move your head, the people can see. Oh gee, this woman. And my X-Acto knives were not working very well. I ordered an X-Acto kit for the gumball machine that I made. And if you haven't seen that video, you really need to, because that piece was amazing. But like the X-Actos, I don't know, like they're just not very, like I would need to be able to press on my X-Acto knives and it not wiggle, like the blades, and the blades wiggle. Like what the world? Like these are X-Acto knives, like get it together, folks. Like come on now. Not asking for a lot. Sometimes collage takes a really long time just because it does. Like there's nothing that you can really do about that. It just takes the time it takes. You can often, make it as quick as you want it to. There's a woman, I have her book. Let me Google her real quick. That way I can talk about her appropriately. And actually, I have her book. You listen to the nice music for just a moment. I'm going to get a book. Here we are. It's called Cut Paper Pictures, and it is by Clover Robin. And it's amazing. Like she brings her collages on road trips. And I'm like, how do you collage in the car? Like those little scraps everywhere would make my husband's head explode. So we're going to try it. We're going to find out what it's like to collage in the car this weekend. On Friday, we're going to the beach. First time in 2 years that we've been to the beach. We're very excited about it. But I figured, hey, that's a 3-hour ride. Like, at least I can get some background pages done and, etc., etc. All right. Sticking this little kitty cat together. I'm adding a little bit of shading with a colored pencil. Not a lot. Like, I'm not a huge shader on stuff. I really need to be. But for this piece especially, since it's, three-dimensional and you can see it, kind of popping off the back, I wanted to have a little bit of shading, like where the moon is and where his head is. Because, that just adds a little bit of zhuzh. And I do love to zhuzh my art. So Let's see, what are we doing now? We're getting some pens out. I thought this would be a good way. Hello, I can't see. Oh, good grief. This woman who runs the camera, I mean, really, can you see that? I can't see that. I think she's adding a face. I see an eye. For the love of Pete. I mean, really, woman, get your life together. Maybe your videos would take off and your channel might take off if you actually pay attention and just are better. Just be better. That's all we're asking for. All right, so we're gluing the cat together because, you know, that's important. However, you can't just glue the cat down because, like, there's layers, right? So, oh, and there's the tail. Yeah, you gotta have a tail on a cat because that's just weird. Although, I had a couple cats growing up without tails, and they were fine. Like, that's how they were born. They were born without tails. And I think that they're fine. Like, totally cute. My daughter was horrified. She was like, what do you mean they don't have tails? It never occurred to her that that some cats don't have tails. And I was just dying laughing by that because I thought, man, you really live in a very, you know, comforting, such a safe little bubble of life when you don't even know that cats come without tails. And she's the crazy cat lady. Like, I don't know. I feel like that bothers me that she doesn't know that. Anyway, we're gluing the cat. And so I actually wind up putting some little squares of cardboard to build up the head so that way I can glue the head to the piece. I think this is where I start doing that. So we've got, get your hair out of the space. My gosh, like, trying to figure out where to put the tail. I'm gonna trim the tail and all the taily good stuff. And it's the teensiest little bit of glue. Which I know seems crazy that glue stick would hold cardboard and stuff, but it really does work wonders. It's fabulous. Again, the Pritt glue is my favorite. It's by far the strongest that I have found. So if you were so inclined to give Collage a try, get what you can find. But once you have tried all the things, get stuff that works, which is the Pritt. So you won't be disappointed. So we're making flowers at this point. I haven't glued the cat down yet. I think I actually wound up forgetting. Oh, that's a really terrible star. So we're trying to say, like, no. I actually wagged my finger, but when I sped it up, you couldn't even see it. And that's my terrible star. Because I can't cut stars. I can't even draw a star without drawing it like that. Like the crisscross type, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what that's called. That's just how I learned how to make a star when I was like 4. And that's always how I make a star, because otherwise they don't come out right. So, yeah, okay, so we're looking at it. Isn't he cute? Like, he came out so singing cute. I really do love that. That flower that I had, that pink one, was a whole disaster of time. It didn't work. I was trying to do something more like quilling. For those that don't know what quilling is like a 3D paper sculpture, I feel like saying. It's like 3-dimensional paper, and so the paper stands upright on its side, and you can curl it and wave it and do all these crazy things with it. I have a quilling kit somewhere that I bought during COVID. So I thought, oh, this will be a great hobby. I think I used it like 3 times, maybe 4, and then that was it. I was like, yeah, this takes too much time. This is not the kind of paper art I want to be doing. I'd rather collage. So it didn't get very far, but I still have it. I have all the stuff because it was, you know, like, that's money spent. I'm not getting rid of it. Plus, I know at some point I will use it. So I would have used it for this piece had I had access to it. It's somewhere in a box because that's where my life is, because we're still trying to sell this house. And so I tried twisting paper and making a flower, which it came out, but it just didn't work. It didn't feel right for this piece. So I ditched it, but you can kind of see it up in the corner. I cut out all the video because it was just like, what are we doing? What is this mess? I'm gluing a cute little paper blossom together. And this is not how I normally make a flower, where it's all even. And like, I usually just glue them all together, but I was like trying to be somebody special this day where I was like, hey, I'm going to show them how you can do it with even spaced petals. It's like, that is not how I normally work, but hey, we're gonna gonna pretend for the sake of this video. Because it's lovely. And then I glued it in the wrong spot. So that was awesome. But that's okay. It's just paper. And I do love the way it came out. I'm very torn because now that I have it finished, I really want to keep it. I'm like, oh no. Well, you want to keep your own art, but at the same time, it's like, no, this is going to a better cause. I'm going to sit on my wall. So I can always make another, because what is it, people? It's just paper. You can always make another one. You can always alter it. This one I was trying to play with some, like, you know, some little heart-shaped flowers, because I wanted to make it fun and zhuzhed. That's the word. That's this week's video's word. That's this week's word of the day. Zhuzhed. So remember what I said, like you've got to add a few little layers of the cardboard that you use. So if you make something that's three-dimensional out of cardboard, don't get rid of the cardboard that you actually use, because every cardboard has a different thickness. For the love of Pete, woman, get your hair out of the shot. Anyway, so I'm just gluing teensy-tiny little pieces of cardboard to build that up. So that way there's a flat space from the head to the feet. So that way everything gets some glue, because otherwise it's just the tail and just the legs that get glued and the rest of it is just flapping in the breeze. Now, if you like, you can actually go back and cover all of those pieces up with the paper so that way you can't see it. But because the space is so minimal, I'm not really worried about it. It's going to be behind a frame, so I'm not too concerned with that part. I just need it to be, you know, built up enough to where I can glue it. And I wouldn't normally use Elmer's glue. I just cannot find my really good glue. And there's nothing wrong with Elmer's, okay? Like, let me just preface that. There's nothing wrong with Elmer's. I just prefer a little bit stronger glue. Nanny. She came in to say hello and was like, hi, and let me wave and do all this stuff. Which apparently we didn't keep filming. This paper, honest to God, is my absolute favorite. It's instructions from my Omnipod that I got. Like, you always get a book of instructions, and so I took an instruction booklet and cut it out, just one sheet, covered it in several different colors of paper. There's some glitter pen in there. There's random, I don't know, whatever paints I had on my roller and my table at the time. And it's just become one of my favorites. And so it's a piece that I use very gingerly because I only have that one sheet. So making papers would be a fun video to do. Maybe I should do that and teach y'all like that skill, because I think that's fun. And if I think that's fun, someone else out there will think it's fun too. We've got little heart flowers, we've got like a little cone flower thing. I was trying hard to use this paper in something, and I was gonna do like little bulbs of stuff, like a little, almost like a gladiola, but I didn't want to make the flowers. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll just do balls, like little buds or something. But then it was like, no, these just look weird, and I don't know. You'll see. So we just have some greenery in there. Like, that just doesn't work for me. I don't know. And then I'm trying to glue it down in some fashion to make a blossom. So a lot of times with collage or paper art, you just kind of have to try stuff until you can either make it work or not. And, you know, and if not, you just leave it and move on with your life. Like, it's okay. It's okay if stuff doesn't work. That's what art is. Like, you try it, see if you love it. If you don't love it, you move on. Same thing with any kind of paintings or drawings or sculpture or whatever. Like, whatever kind of art you choose to do, everything has that begin and end where, you know, you try something out, try something new, try something that you've never done, try something that you've seen, try something that has come to you in a dream or whatever, or you had this idea over coffee one day, and see what happens. And if not, then that's okay. Like, you tried it, you didn't like it, or maybe you tried it and you're gonna judge it. and see what happens. So another way to add to your collage or multimedia pieces, depending on what you want to call it, is adding washi tape to it, which I love. I love that idea. This is where I realized that I hadn't glued down my cat yet. And I was like, oh, right, sorry, I forgot. So yeah, I did use Elmer's on that just a little bit, not a lot to where it comes oozing out. That drives me nuts. Glue, ooze, ugh. It's just, no, just not. And then here I was like trying to see if I needed another little square of color somewhere. But looking at the video, I'm like, yeah, I wish I'd used that purple square. I mean, the blue one's fine, but I'm like, ooh, I should have used that little purple one. That would have been good. It's too close to that star, but it's fine. It's not my piece anymore. It's whatever. So washi tape is fun. I will say you got to glue it down because it will lift, because washi tape does not have a lot of stick. So whipping out pens and color pencils. Yep, that's where we're at. Where we're at in life. Adding, get your hair. Oh my goodness. Get your head out of the shot. So what's great about color pencils and Posca pens and all that in a multimedia piece like this, like I'm just adding some extra little leafy green somewhere here and there just to add, you know, a little pop. I was trying to add some little stems to my little heart flowers, like the little middle section of a flower. The pens I like to use for adding these little dots, like it's just, oh, but here I'm doing a flower behind a flower, which I don't know. I wish that I had planned ahead for that flower, because I put that purple one in the wrong spot, but it's fine. We're moving on. But yeah, I really like to do like little dots all over my paper. It just is another little element. Like the little white ones are more for like stars and stuff, and then I've got little yellow ones coming, almost like lightning bugs, which I think are really fun, but it's kind of another element. You could add little bits to your leaves and little curlicues or little lines to your leaves, which I am now realizing I forgot, but that's fine. It's fine. So yeah, it's just another little element to add. I've been doing this a long time. It came from scrapbooking. Actually, you do 3 and then 1 far away. So you do like 3 in a cluster and then 1 kind of further away off to the side of that cluster. So this is it. That's the piece. It is finished. And until next time, friends, thanks for hanging out with me, and create something beautiful for the world and put it out there. We'll see you next week. Bye.